Hello again. In this video you will learn about plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is a selectively permeable phospholipid bilayer found in all cells. Selectively permeable because it allows certain molecules or ions to pass through it by simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. It is flexible or fluid, and not rigid. Fluid Mosaic model is a model that explains the fluidity of plasma membrane. This model is proposed by Singer and Nicholson. Fluid and mosaic has specific meanings. Fluid refers to the phospholipid and protein molecules that can move laterally or change places, thus, give the membrane fluidity. Lateral movement of a phospholipid occurs rapidly, while flip-flopping across the membrane occurs at a very slow rate. Mosaic refers to the various proteins that are embedded in the phospholipid bilayer, giving a mosaic appearance from its surface. Component of plasma membrane are phospholipid, protein, carbohydrate chain, and cholesterol. The plasma membrane is a phospholipid bilayer, since it made of two layers phospholipid. The phospholipid bilayer act as barrier between the extracellular matrix and the intracellular. Let's discuss details about the structure and function of each component in plasma membrane. First component is phospholipid. Phospholipid is arranged in a bilayer. Polar hydrophilic phosphate heads are facing outwards, forming hydrophilic region. Hydro means water, and philic means attract. So, hydrophilic means attract to water. Nonpolar hydrophobic fatty acid tails are facing each other, forming hydrophobic region. Hydro means water, and phobic means afraid of or phobia. So, hydrophobic means afraid of water. This nonpolar region acts as barrier between intracellular and extracellular. If you look at this animation, you can see that hydrophilic head will always facing outwards while hydrophobic tail always facing towards each other, and forming a hydrophobic region. The hydrophobic region repel polar substances. For example, ions, water, and glucose. But it allows small nonpolar substances to cross it. For example, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Second component is proteins. Proteins that are found in plasma membrane are divides into two types: integral protein and peripheral protein. Integral protein is penetrate the hydrophobic region of the lipid bilayer. Protein that completely spanning the membrane, or exposed to both side of cell membrane, is known as transmembrane protein. Peripheral protein is not embedded in the lipid bilayer. It is loosely bounded to the surface of phospholipid. Function of the protein's membrane are 1. For transport. 2. For enzymatic activity. 3. For signal transduction. 4. For intercellular joining. 5. For cell-to-cell recognition, and 6. Attachment to cytoskeleton inside the cell and extracellular matrix. Third component is carbohydrate chain. The chain is usually branched oligosaccharide. Oligosaccharide means short carbohydrate chain. Its function as cell-to-cell recognition. There are two types of carbohydrate chain in plasma membrane, which are glycolipid and glycoprotein. The difference between them depends on which molecule they attach to. Glycolipid is oligosaccharide that covalently bonded to lipids, while glycoprotein is oligosaccharide that covalently bonded to proteins. The fourth component is cholesterol. Cholesterol is a steroid lipid which located in the hydrophobic region of phospholipid bilayer. Its functions is to restrains the movement of phospholipids and reduces fluidity at warm temperatures, and to maintains fluidity by preventing tight packing of phospholipids at cool temperature. That's all for the structure and function of each component in plasma membrane.